From water deep to Icewind Dale, unlikely friends fight tooth and scale. A little faith, a lot of rage, to bring the summer back again. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Bonus action. Heroes, tortured and trapped within the mist, hunted by horrors from out the abyss. We've seen friends fall, but must endure, survive to see the sun once more. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Heroes.
Okay, we're live, hopefully. Oh, hi Davey, you're here already. Lunchtime. Picking up some food before you go back. I've just had my dinner, so hope you're good. You having something nice for lunch? You can always find room for more. Welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Tonight we are continuing with our Out of the Abyss campaign. We don't have Steve with us right now. He's going to join us a little bit later on. Fortunately, he is working. But yeah, so last episode, feel free to jump in if I forget something. The party met a mysterious Duergar, young female Duergar with grey skin, black hair, golden freckles. Her environment was cold, icy, really, really cold. So much so that part of the darklake had frozen over. Frozen solid, in fact. The party had already struggled to make the decision about whether to go back and try and bring Eldith back to life, or to continue on and hope that the Myconids of Neverlight Grove could offer some kind of aid for the now growing collection of dead folk in the bottom of the ship, tended to by Malice with great care and kindness. This Duergar named Isabon was clear that she was there sent by Fae, but not Fae herself, to make deals and to protect portals back into the Fae realm. Sevatar made a deal, passage through the ice, and a memory restored for Tink, who knew not who she was. So she took them down into the carved out cellar beneath the hut on stilts, where, I think it's no secret, an ice troll was dwelling, playing with the frozen corpse of a body like it was a doll. Two strange portals, one of which Isabon allowed you to pass through, where you saw these huge muscular giants with strange, distorted, twisted features who were trying to fish this globe of pink and purple light out of the air. And with a word from Isabon, they stepped aside and allowed Tink to restore a piece of herself, a part of her that long lost. And in that, she saw the wedding of Victor Gabor. He was there. She was much taller, no wings on her back, wearing fine clothes. In the Feywild reflection of Gracklstugh, during this wedding, she, desperate to try and find more from this memory, she asked questions, but unfortunately the memory was twisting and turning around her. She gave Victor and his bride, a shield dwarf named Alara, a gift, a locket, a pendant adorned with fey feathers that held the joyous memories of the emotion of the day for the bride and groom to enjoy and experience whenever they wished. And with that, they returned to the ship to find that one of the goblins was missing, had not turned up for duty. When they began to search, they found said goblin in their hammock, eyes closed, stone cold, with a really weird, slightly pouty grin on their face. It was deduced that perhaps the succubus was actually on board or nearby. They had an imposter, and a dangerous one at that, on board. So, unless I missed anything, I shall hand back to you all as you find yourself below deck on the Asfer, with the realization that perhaps one of your fiendish enemies is actually on board with you.
Drodyn, you mentioned you had a idea. I think you did.
I did indeed. Give me 1 second. Yes, I have the ability to perform it. Yes, I do.
Perform.
I will kind of like gesture to go to somewhere that's a bit more like private, just to talk about it, so that I'm not spreading information of what my plan is around everyone in the ship. Like I'm able to detect people's thoughts. So I could cast that, and then in the brief window I'll have with that active, I can walk around and glimpse at people's trains of thought and see if there's anything that could allude to imposter.
Get to it then. The rest of us continue as we said, as we planned. Pair up, don't let any goblin be on their own. Or any person.
Derendil will. So do we? Are we? If I stay here, do you want to do me first?
I will like very quickly look at Derendil and try and like read surface thoughts. Purely because he asked. And then if everything seems on the level with Derendil, I'll just start walking a path along the ship, trying to get a little glimpse of everyone.
The surface thoughts of Derendil are: stay calm, don't lose control, you must keep control. This thing is an animal, you must keep control. Repeating over and over again.
Droydn will kind of just nod and then move on and start looking at Jockey and then all of the other goblins.
Well, there's Drocky is sat on the bed there. Stool is also sat there. One of the goblins is nearby. You walk up to first.
Jockey first.
Okay. He looks up at you. Yes.
Don't mind me. I also don't have to walk up to them. I can just look at them, provided I'm within 30 feet.
Okay. Is there any roll for it?
Not if I'm only reading surface thoughts.
Okay. You definitely, his thoughts seem to be around being on a time limit and things, like obsessively thinking about being late for something, that time's running out.
Next is Stool.
So Stool's thoughts are surface thoughts aren't like the surface thoughts of you all. More like images, and you see tunnels, you see mushrooms, you get like a brief flash of Bupido standing over him with a knife and then striking forward.
And what about the other goblins in the room?
The other goblins, the one nearest to Drocky, you can tell is like eyeing up. He's like, any gold? Gold lying around? Looking for something to take.
And what about this one? Oh shit, there's two.
Just they both seem to be thinking about how tired they are, and they're fed up of having to do all these long hours for such rubbish pay.
The cheek. And then I will check over this one before I fuck's sake. The one next to Derendil before I head upstairs and scout all them out.
That one's like, got a path.
Look at him and go seasick.
Seasick. Yeah, very seasick.
Apparently ginger is very good for it.
It will look at you like, what? What is? I assume you've gone up the ladder.
And he'll shut down, just go, just before he shuts the latch, just go, being seasick, and slams it shut.
See his eyes go really wide when he realizes you've somehow figured that out.
There we are. What about this guy?
Well, I don't know which guy you're on about. That guy, you kind of get a sense that he's on watch, but not really doing anything. He's not really watching.
Just bored.
He's just bored. He's just staring out into the sea. This is the kind of like, oh, the elf's got good eyes. It's fine. No one will notice.
What about our lovely Big Bren?
Big Bren, he is very sad. Get a lot of sad feelings. Feels lonely, alone.
That's very sad. Purely out of being thorough, I will look over at Seven Malice and try and pick up surface thoughts from the both of them.
Alice, what are your surface thoughts?
She's kind of listing the chemicals that she needs to acquire for the mortuary. But she gets to the end of the list and she starts again. And you get the feeling it's kind of a nervous habit. She's a bit upset and she's trying to keep her mind off other things. So she's doing inventory.
Good strategy.
Sev
I can't really speak for, but
oh yeah,
Sev is thinking about Tink.
Saucy.
Not in a saucy way, just in a, like, he seems very invested in her for some reason. I don't think you would know more than that. Surface thoughts.
Drodyn will have a brief moment of looking at Malice and going, I don't really know what I expected. But I would have thought she might have been celebrating this idea that she's Goblin hot or whatever it was she said.
I forgot about Goblin hot.
There's like any other emotion coming off her. There's like low-key disgust at the idea that she's as ace can be, so she just finds that very weird and kind of creepy.
So Goblin and Tink.
the goblin at the top there, he's thinking, I don't know what this rope's actually for. Kind of
Why?
staring at it and just like checking it's tight. Suppose that'll do.
This is really disappointing. Unfortunately, I don't actually know any of it.
I'm going to tell you all about it. Don't worry.
You will, you'll, I don't know, is it verbal
Surface.
thoughts? Visual thoughts? Because to me it's a visual. She's just replaying what the memory she saw, so her in a garden with Victor and...
Yeah, it's only the very like surface thoughts, so whatever she's on her mind at the moment. She's reliving that memory, returning of the wedding and dancing and seeing the dwarf, how old she was at the end, dancing with a boy.
And what about this gobbo?
This gobbo's kind of thinking, I hope this was a good decision. That kind of thing. Better pay well.
What about this one?
That one's like there's very little in there actually. Thinking about biscuits for some reason.
Mm.
I have a bag of biscuits with me right now.
Are they white chocolate digestives?
They might be.
You bastard.
I may be slightly addicted to them.
I still haven't tried one. Sorry.
What about these last two gobbos, Hemith, Surdy, and Ambrose?
Hemith, I'll go. You can have a think, Tom, about what your surface thoughts are. I don't think Ambrose probably has any because he's an animal, right? But Hemith is thinking, I really hope we don't die. I'm amazed we've got this far with this crew. I don't know how we're still alive. If anything hits us in the tunnel, we're dead. At least we're not in the open. But he looks very like confident and on the rudder. You wouldn't know looking at his face. Faking it till he makes it.
Respectable.
Your reaction.
I'm trying really hard.
And what about these last two goblins?
They seem to be watching the one in the middle, trying to figure out what they're supposed to be doing.
And what's the one in the middle doing?
He's thinking, I hope these two know what they're doing because I've not got a clue.
This will be a brief moment where you can see Drodyn like slowly facepalm. It's just like the moment of him just going, oh. Then Tom, do you have anything for?
Surdy's just here. I wonder if I can use that map that Drodyn drew, and then if I ask the rest of the crew, they can add bits to it, and we can build up a proper map of the lake, and then I can use this thing here, and it'll actually be useful. I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Drodyn in a minute if he can draw it again. That's all you hear Surdy thinking.
And
Ambrose, that goblin that you had the impression was thinking about biscuits. Ambrose is looking at that goblin, but you can imagine that the thoughts he's having about that goblin are very similar to the thoughts that goblin was having about biscuits.
that's fair. And also, just to be on the absolute safe side, would I get any surface thoughts from lovely Irvy, my moth familiar?
No.
Oh,
I
I
don't
think
think
you'd
so.
hear the screaming of existential dread.
From a moth.
Yeah.
From a moth that worships the moon, yeah, probably.
I imagine that's what all moths were thinking all the time.
Oh God, where's the moon? What happened to the
God.
moon? I've
Is
not
that the
seen it
moon?
in weeks.
They keep burning me.
At least they don't have candles. Are you going to do yourself? Because so you can get some thought feedback.
Loud screeching.
What am I thinking? Oh, no. You're thinking about what you're thinking about.
Yes, suddenly I'm in a loop.
And suddenly
You
we see
asked me a
Drodyn held up on the
question and
floor
half of my
with
brain just
foaming at the mouth.
This is
He's
only a
inceptioned
metaphor
himself.
for mental health.
Yeah. Suddenly you just start seeing Drodyn going, oh, Jesus, my fucking head. And he'll shuffle that off, and he'll walk over to Tink. Be like, so the one thing...
Downstairs.
Okay. Hello, Evie.
Well,
So out of everything, the one thing I have learned is that a majority of our goblin crew members have no fucking idea what they're doing.
are you fucking kidding me?
Most of them don't understand what their jobs are, and they are just trying to look busy, so that they remain undisturbed. Some have a few gripes with how little they're being paid.
We're paying them really well. Okay, fine, but tell me there's good news.
Nobody in particular stood out as definitively a succubus. But there were definitely some interesting things of note. Derendil seems like he is particularly struggling with being a Quaggoth, which is a bit disheartening. His thoughts were just continuously trying to keep his cool, as it were. He is trying very hard to not go full Quaggoth, shall we say.
I'll file that problem under later.
Stool is fixated on the fact that he was stabbed by Papido.
Obviously.
Our kobold friend, whose name the only part of his name I remember is Big Bren. He is, well, he's understandably rather sad. He feels rather lonely, considering that the rest of his tribe, or whatever they call them for kobolds, has been slaughtered by drow. And Jockey is somewhat stressed about being on a time limit. He believes he's running late for something.
It's all good to know, thank you, but doesn't tell us the immediate thing we wish to know. Do you have any other ideas?
The only other thing I could think of is trying to probe further, but they'll know that I've tried.
It might be what we have to do. Maybe we'll just have to tell them the truth. The goblin is dead, and we think it was one of them, so everyone is subject to questioning.
Oh, and Hemeth is surprised we're not dead. He doesn't understand how we're still alive.
There are some things I just don't need to know.
Well, I just wanted to convey it thoroughly.
What do you think? Just tell them?
I would be concerned about spreading mistrust and creating a panic.
Well, we can definitely interrogate our own people first as a show of, well, not trust, but equality.
I think the best thing we can potentially do for the time being is survey them for a few hours, and if nothing in their activity stands out, then we can readdress the issue.
Very well. Don't let yourself... Well, I guess, yes, let yourself be alone, but with another person. Always be with another person, even though that person might be the murderer. But you can handle yourself.
I must confess, I would be curious to see what a succubi would appear to me as.
You are saying you'd like to be bait?
And that's not what I was saying, but I'm willing to be bait.
It's an option, isn't it? But how would you be bait? Just be in
stay
your
on
bunk?
stay in here alone for the majority of the day, like I normally do.
How would you convey to us the minute you're...
I'm telepathic.
Yes, but if you're charmed, you're not exactly going to run screaming for help. You're going to enjoy being charmed and subsequently die.
As an elven creature, I am somewhat resistant to the effects of being charmed. And even if I am charmed, it doesn't mean that I'll automatically refuse to contact someone if I've been approached.
As a backup, I could always put an alarm spell around your cabin.
Oh, I could also do that. That's a good idea. Oh, it would make more sense for you to do it.
Yes, you may be charmed and not...
It-
Yeah,
it's-
I'll do it.
There's no point in me alarming the door if I'm going to be charmed.
If you are comfortable doing that, then we'll do that. We'll do the double-pronged attack, I suppose. You get some rest. I'll set an alarm and continue monitoring the others with the others. Hope you don't die.
I'll get plenty of rest. And then he holds up his little spell book, opens it, and drops it on the table.
Very well. I will loudly let people know you are off shift.
And now I'm off cam.
Jim, can you roll me a DC 15 Wisdom saving throw, please?
I can. Is this a charmed effect?
You don't know.
Well, I have advantage if it's a charmed effect.
You have advantage then.
I will... The goblins that are down here, are they basically on their break off shift doing the next one?
Yeah.
I will encourage them to get some rest and hope that means they go find some hammocks.
Yeah, they're kind of kicking around, nudging boxes.
Yeah, like, I know you're not used to it, but you're going to be tired if you don't rest now, so...
If verith more myth.
Fortunately, that's the way with ships. We'll look at getting improvements to the ship when we get to another city, but until then, Unfortunately, this is what most of us have to deal with, and I know it's all fine for me, I'm very small, but even Derendil's in one of these.
If not complaining with, it's better than being a slave.
Drodyn, go to sleep. Oh my god, I'm everyone's mum. Essentially, I want all eyes around me closed before I cast alarm.
Okay. And how are you doing that? Where?
Across the door to the cabin where Drodyn is.
Yeah.
It says it uses a piece of silver wire, so I guess I try to look like I'm cleaning. But I'm actually setting up a little silver wire.
Okay. I'm gonna ask for a sleight of hand if you want it to be unseen.
Yeah, that's totally fair. Yes, dice god.
Okay. Yeah, you look like you're just rubbing a weird, might be a blood stain from when the doll got out last time. The door, you lay the little silver wire. No one seems to notice.
I will go pair up with the goblin above deck, I guess.
Okay.
Derendil and Stool are in charge of watching the goblins down here.
Okay, understood. So, the ice sheet is far behind you. You see no other ships. Probably another hour passes without any real notable events, nothing of note. You see off in the distance, barely visible, a sort of bioluminescent haze from the huge cavern ceiling way up above you, and then you see shape of, it looks like a mountain, but with this hole in it big enough for 3 or 4 ships your size pass through. And will, this is the Captain Tink. This is the way. I believe if we go through here, we will come out very close to a tributary for Neverlight Grove. It is, I think, a wise choice to go this way, the wisest. The open water would have seen us dead, and to the south, we may have outrun them around the islands for a time, but they could have outmaneuvered us in here. As long as nothing comes the other way, we should be fine. We are small, we are capable of turning fast. I am confident we can outrun any ship in here.
I appreciate your confidence. Have you noticed any strange behaviour amongst goblins? Or us?
With respect, Captain, they are goblins, so strange is kind of what they do. I find as long as I tell them exactly what to do, they do it.
Do you think it's going in, though? Do you think you'll always have to tell them, or they're learning what to do?
Don't think they're finding it interesting. I don't think they're bothered. I'm concerned that the next time we stop, they might just be off.
They don't find it interesting that we fought a load of demonic creatures and came upon an ice sheet that parted. That's a difficult audience.
I don't think they saw any of that, to be fair, but I mean more the sailing thing. It's not for everyone.
Not a single one of them is interested?
I don't know. Some of them are quite loyal. This one here, Anna, is it? He's pretty good. Quite lively and enthusiastic.
Malice will be not far away. She'll be sat and writing out lists. I'm not sure we even asked them what they were interested in. Maybe we could see about training them into particular specialisms.
We can have that talk. Makes a lot of sense.
At least
Yeah.
then if they're upskilling, if they do want to move on, they might at least wait until they've got the skills to find better employment.
I'd rather keep them, but if they're not interested, they're not interested. Money makes people interested, doesn't it? What are we currently paying them? Does anyone remember? We'll come back to that.
We're paying them really well. How much are we paying them
You're
again?
paying-
I thought we're paying them really well. There's
Yeah.
definitely a gold involved.
I thought it was well, it was like a gold a day or something, wasn't it?
Which, isn't that pretty damn good?
It is.
Yeah. Like we were definitely paying them far more than was standard.
Especially board and accommodation are included, and they're getting a gold a day.
To be fair, the accommodation is pretty shit. We'll review it, but I don't know what else to say. We've just got to keep watching.
So crew daily rate, we said that like a trained sailor would get 2 gold pieces, Kenneth was getting 3 gold pieces. So yeah, it would make sense that the goblins were getting 1 gold piece a day based on them being untrained sailors. But I will continue looking.
Okay, my idea is we don't increase the rate. This isn't what we need to talk about. We don't increase the rate yet, but we say their rate will go up once they complete training.
Well, we can start just by offering them training opportunities so that they at least feel that they know what they're doing, and they're not suffering so much from imposter syndrome. From what Drodyn has said about what they were thinking, I think just a bit of confidence would be greatly beneficial to them. So I've been writing out procedures for them.
Can they read?
I'll write out a procedure for teaching them to read.
Thank you. Guess, like the goblins, I will go back to learning how to ship.
How to ship a ship.
Yes.
To do the
Also,
ship.
look at this vampire donut.
Oh, is that an actual donut?
What's in
Oh.
it? Please tell me it's red. I want
Let's
it to
find
be
out.
like a vanilla. donut.
An on-stream unboxing. Yeah, that looks like jam.
Yeah, that's what I want.
As you are finishing off your conversation, the goblin that stood at the front of the ship will be like, you'll see it looking around. See that Drocky's stood on the deck, tapping his feet, looking a little bit like annoyed and frustrated, and can't stand still. And the goblin will turn to him and say, you'll see Drocky look over the side as well. They have a little back and forth, which you can't hear. Just go back to what they were doing.
I forgot, I'll also loudly say, or go round people saying, if we go downstairs, keep it quiet because, I don't know, X and X, Tina, whoever, and especially Drodyn are sleeping.
So on top deck, Malice, you're sort of walking around with your ledger. You lean on the side of the ship as you're reading something, and as you look down into the water, you just see fish floating on the surface, dead. dozens of them drifting by. And then the light
Instantly,
goes.
the list I was writing, which was just a list of different types of ways to tie knots, suddenly becomes a very detailed description of the fish, any signs of decay, can I tell what's killed them, anything along those kind of lines.
Give me a nature check.
I am not good at nature.
Good enough. You do notice that the water is. It's always hard in the dark to tell, but you do have dark vision. So to a degree, you can often see a little bit under the water if it's clear. The water, you notice, is very murky, dirty, and actually sniff it and it smells stagnant and rotten and horrible, and fish seem to have suffocated. The water is bad here. And as you have that thought, the very low light from the luminescence of far above cavern ceiling dims as the ship heads slowly into the tunnel.
Is Surdy on deck? Yes.
Yes.
Surdy, may I borrow you for a moment?
Sure, no problem. How can I
Have
help?
you ever seen anything like that?
You have to
Okay.
stand on your tiptoes to see over the side or a box, but the water is polluted in some way. Stagnant, stinky, very odd for what is effectively an underground sea. Really beautiful.
It's not. I don't think this would be normal. No. How long have you observed this?
Just noticed it, but I did see Drocky and one of the crew talking at the edge of the ship, and it did draw my attention a little bit, enough for me to at least look away from my ledger.
Strange. 1 second. I'll just head over to the other side and look over the other side of the ship, see if it's all around or just heading down one side of the ship.
Yeah, you see a strange, huge ray, like a manta ray, but this is bioluminescent, and you can see that it's not quite dead, but it is struggling to stay afloat. You can see the bioluminescence flickering on and off. There is dead fish all around. You see a Sahuagin, a humanoid as well, floating face down in the water.
There's something very wrong here.
Do I, so with length of distance from the edge of the boat to the water, is Derendil, is his reach long enough to be able to scoop up some water?
Maybe, but there's a risk he might fall in.
Okay. What I will do is I will get a rope and I'll get a bucket and I will wheek some water up, so I can run some tests on it. Surdy, should we concern the captain with our observations at this point?
It might be best to let her know. I'll do that while you do what you're doing with the water. I'll let Hamath know as well, see if it's anything he knows about.
You don't have to roleplay that unless there's anything extra.
No, I'll go and ask Hamath, and then I'll go and find Tink.
I have not seen anything like this before. I mean, sometimes you see dead things, the nature of the darklake, but no, the water, I've never seen the water this dirty, this corrupted. It's not right.
let Tink know.
Similar to Malice, I've always got this mage hand holding a book up, and I don't even respond to you. I just turn to a back page in the book, and you'll see like a list that says Dole, Bradley, and I'll like cross out Dole and move Dirty Water up on the list and move Dole down.
As you are having this conversation and watching, the water seems to clear. The dead things seem to stop. See something up ahead move across front of the ship. Under the surface, you can't make it out because wherever it is, the water is black, dirty, and see a few fish like drop to the surface where it crossed your path, disappears off ahead up into the darkness.
I'm going to say, as long as it's heading away from us, this isn't currently our problem.
Just let the crew know not to be fishing at the moment until they know it's a long way away.
No. Yeah.
Stay away from the edge of the boat as well, just in case. We don't want anyone being pulled overboard.
Malice, you got some of the water to look at later.
Yes,
Thanks.
I'll run some tests. I'll also see if maybe I can refine exactly what it is in case it's useful for other purposes.
I mean, just looking at it, you're aware that this would make you very ill. Drink
Do we
it.
think I could turn it into a poison?
An ingested one, maybe.
Yeah. Please and thank you.
Okay. You continue on. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Can I just generally just check in on any of the goblins to find out if they can read at all?
So the first goblin you walk up to, can you read? Yeah, of course.
And then I will put out a list to him that will just say,
Can't read
like,
that,
sleep
but
not, hang not. Okay.
yeah, can't read that, but yeah, I can read.
How well do you work with numbers?
Never met one.
Okay. And what do you actually like to do if regarding the jobs on this ship? Do you have one that you actually enjoy? Or something that you would like to be able to do?
Sleeping, I like the sleeping bit.
But what about when you're not asleep? Do you have any passions in life?
I mean, I always wanted to paint.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Problem is, it's
Well,
very dark down here. So all my paintings were black. It was, with no detail. But yeah, I would very much like to see colours and paint those.
okay.
Paintings of darkness don't sell very well, especially not in Goblin society.
No, but we could very easily sell them to the drow. I will keep a note of this. We might be looking at maybe having some restructuring in the current hierarchy of the ship and
Oh,
looking at reallocation of workloads.
You've got a role coming up in painting the darkness.
Well, maybe. We could probably do with a flag, and I've heard stories of ships that have whole monstrous scenes painted on them as a way of warding off others. So I'll have a word with the captain and It may not be. It may not be a full-time position, but
Right.
it could be. It could be something if you're interested.
I've got one here actually. Do you want to see it?
Oh,
It goes in a
yes,
little pouch
please.
and takes this scroll out and hands it to you. And as you open it, it's just painted black. It's just like and it,
completely black.
yeah,
Is.
and scratched on the bottom, it just says the dark by Lisa.
I think Aris look not Aris. I think
I
Malice
don't
looks at
know.
it. Malice looks at it like it's the most beautiful thing she has ever seen.
Hmm.
Oh, well, this is quite something, isn't it? It really speaks to the depth of the soul, if the soul
Yeah.
were to exist, of course, or the lack of. Quite
And actually,
inspiring.
well, as you look at it for a bit longer with your dark vision, you realize that there is actually like lots of different shades of black, and there is actual detail in it which you don't think anyone without dark vision would see. You can see like a little village on the edge of a lake and a mountain in the distance, stalagmites and stalactites. But initially, it just looked black.
Beautiful. It's when you look at it and you see the darkness, but you can only find inspiration of the life that darkness holds.
Yes, I thought I should have called it the speed of dark because obviously the fastest thing there is. No matter where you go, the dark's already there.
Very true. Though I think just targeting it the dark allows for people to find their own wonder within it.
Don't know what that means, but it sounds, yeah. I'll do another one. I'll do a portrait of you.
Oh well, I don't know if a portrait of me would be worthy of your talents. Maybe one of the captain. I believe that is something that people have on ships. They would have portraits of their captains, would they not?
I could do it full size.
You could do. Let me see if I can find some better materials for you as well.
It'd be good to have more than 3 shades of black. I reckon
That's
7 or
very
8
true.
would be ideal.
I mean, depending on the temperature with which you fire bone, the ash that is produced can take on quite a startling array of shades. Leave it with me and I'll see what I can do. And with that, I walk off because I cannot manage that RP anymore.
Yeah.
That
And
was
you see them
incredible.
they sort of potter off and start like actually tightening some of the ropes and looking at Hemeth and pointing at it and going. Hemeth like it off and lets it slack a little bit. Wind catches better in the sail.
Right. And this is why I can never go into management.
Probably good.
Without necessarily role playing, can we do that for everyone eventually?
Yeah, because at that point,
Sure.
Malice is just going to write on her list of like observations. Goblins cannot read.
Maybe they can read Goblin.
Maybe they can, but then I need someone who can translate from. I've probably written in Elvish or Undercommon. Can they read Abyssal? Do it in Abyssal? Why the hell I can do it in Abyssal and not Goblin? I don't know.
Do any of us speak Goblin?
Oh, Surdy speaks Goblin.
Surdy's got a new job.
I might get Surdy to help me with the translation of these procedure documents so that the goblins have a better understanding of what they could be doing.
You said he speaks an unusually large amount of languages. I don't know quite how that happened.
If he's a ranger, he might get like languages based off of his.
That's it, yeah. Favoured enemies, doesn't he? Yeah.
Like telling your enemies where to stick it or where you're going to stick it. Like learning to swear when you first learn a language. I was a
He can
kid. That
speak
was
all these
pretty
languages.
much
He
the
can
first
speak
thing
them.
we did.
He can ask. He can ask where the library is and where the
You can
swimming pool is, and swear in all these languages.
and buy bread, but left and right's very confusing.
And then I think once Mouse has done that, if she can afford to, she's going to go and sleep because she wants the spell slots back. That doll is still quite at the top of her list of things to do. But she needs to sleep.
Head downstairs, go to sleep. Does anyone else want to do anything?
I'll tell her not to disturb Droydn because there's an alarm spell.
She wouldn't be going into his room anyway. That's
I don't know where all the bunks are. It's a very confusing setup.
If I remember correctly, Drodyn and Tink sleep in the captain's quarters, don't they? And then everyone else is out in the bunks.
Oh, that's very elitist. I like
Malice might sleep in the morgue. Yeah, Malice sleeps in the morgue. There we go.
So who is staying up on deck? And what are you doing? You can see that Hemeth has slowed the ship a little bit. The tunnel is quite wide and quite tall. It's probably 3 ships wide. In places, the ceiling does dip and there are stalagmites and stalactites. So he has slowed the ship and is ensuring that the mast doesn't hit it. But thankfully, your ship is not the biggest, so it is proving relatively safe so far. So it's Surdy, Tink.
Yeah. I went off and I did go off briefly and to try and find some paper somewhere, and then if I've managed to find some, I'm trying to sketch out what I remember of Drodyn's map of the Darklake, and I'll grab each of the goblins one by one and see if they can correct bits of it from what they know of the Darklake. Try and draw up a consensus map.
Okay.
Over time.
Yeah. Yeah, you the first couple of goblins you ask, they're kind of enthusiastic to help you. You quickly realize they start going, oh, this is where there's a massive dragon turtle, and that was where there was a massive fish, and they're clearly like enthusiastic and want to help you, but you realize they don't know, they're just making it up because they've never been there, and they're not sailors. They don't know the lake. So you give up quickly on that and you start forming something with Myth, and a bit of help from those that have already been. You should have access to that map actually. See that being top of the screen, you should be able to select the explored view, which have some vague areas for some things. Do you?
Cool. Yeah, I can see
So
that.
you can see so where Sloobladoop was. You can see Falcon Bell, Silken Paths, webbed walkways that you came across, the Hook Corollaire where you met the Knolls. Obviously, Demogorgon is on the map, doesn't mean they are still there. Crackle Stew, Tip of the Grey Ghost, the Kraken corpse that you saw, and also Neverlight Grove. Now, Hemeth will kind of indicate roughly that Blingden Stone is here somewhere. You can see that, but he navigates by instinct and memory. He historically used maps, so we'll be like, it's kind of there somewhere around here. Remember exactly, but if we go that direction, we will find Blingden Stone.
But pointing towards Blingdenstone, and on my map, I'm going to look on the compass and see which way the actual compassy bit's pointing, and try and get some orientation of direction with the map and where he's pointing. And
Yeah, so the compass is pointing north-northeast.
Real.
Yeah, it's kind of that way. Yeah, on your compass north-northeast from here. It's probably more like northeast from where we will be. Not been through these tunnels for some time, so I don't know what we're going to where exactly we will come out. The lake shifts and changes over time, but this route has been here for a long time, before the water, some say, but very hard to believe. Nothing's older than the water.
I shall keep trying to make the map. So let me know if I make any errors. And then I'd appreciate it at some point if you show me how to steer this thing.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Now that you're an officer. So you see this stick here I'm holding. It's not just for leaning on.
Oh.
Now when I want to go to the left, this is the bit that's going to like mess with your head. I've already tried with like 4 of the goblins, and they just looked at me like I was crazy. I want to go left, push it to the right.
Ooh.
You want to go right, pull it left.
Okay.
It sounds wrong, but it works. Trust me, I've done it quite a lot.
Take your word for it. How does it work?
Just a big plank of wood in the water.
Okay.
Nothing special.
Take your word for it, it's fine.
Like directs the water in the way and turns the ship. I'm not a wizard or anything. I don't really know, but you don't want to turn it a lot. You just a little bit.
One doesn't need to know how, just one needs to know it does. That's fine.
Yeah, have a go. Oh no, you want to have a go? Pulling a face like.
I'll have a go, but don't disappear. I'll just try and grab it if it goes wrong.
No, I wouldn't dream of disappearing. I really like being alive. We'll wait till your hand's on it. It's a little bit high for you. You're kind of like, it's up here. Yeah, you could probably like hold it like that. It'd be a bit tiring for you. Maybe we'll get a little lower handle for you. Yeah, so you see, we have you see the stalactites from the ceiling. If we hit that with the mast, we're screwed. So we're just going to go a little to the left. See the water there is deeper. Can you see?
Right.
You can use. Please tell me you can see in the dark.
I can see in the dark. Yes.
Good, because the water is deeper there. You can tell by. Well, it's all.
There's a lot to consider. You've got to look up and down, and to the left and to the right.
Yes.
Well, I have a new appreciation for this. This is fascinating.
And you also have to consider the speed of the boat, so to reduce or increase the sails. If the wind wasn't blowing through the tunnel, we would be screwed right now. We're just lucky it's going in the right direction. Did you ever notice in the open when I was never going directly to where I wanted to go? I was going up and down. That was because the wind.
I did wonder that. I just thought you enjoyed the view.
No. Like if you want to go that way, but the wind's going that way, you have to call it tacking.
Makes sense.
Common, yeah. It's very. Once you get it, you get it. Yeah. If you hit one of those or you hit one of those, we screwed. So please don't. I mean it. I'm not joking.
No, I understand. I shall do my best not to.
Like everybody will be dead, Surdy. All of us.
I know. Okay, I shall do my best.
Unless we're really good at swimming. You good at swimming?
I'm not sure I ever have. I'll probably be fabulous at it though.
Although your friend the drow, she can make you walk on water. That's very impressive.
This is true.
So she could save maybe some of us. Anyway, I'm just gonna stand back and let you have a go. If hear me scream, means we're going to die. Let me take over. Good. We have an agreement.
Let's do this.
You start to learn the feel of the ship and start to
Very conscientiously trying to be the bosun that I've been told I am.
And yeah, sometimes they'll be like, no, more, and the ship will turn quite quickly as the tunnel veers off to the side a couple of times. It's a narrow miss, but with his supervision, really quite fun. Quite fun. As you are steering, you can see the goblin still at watch at the front. Drocky is lost interest and wandering around on the deck. He's actually sat in Drodyn's chair that you got from the Grey Ghost wreck, and feet aren't touching the floor. He's just legs, looking at his boots. His boots are like an interesting red color. They're like really bright red leather. Sort of looking at them and getting off out, polishing them so they're quite shiny. See the goblin peek over the front of the ship. Kind of. Then gone.
You said don't.
Gone. Disappeared.
Will.I.Am.
Will.I.Am that one?
I mean, I'll head towards where were they?
Front of the ship.
Is my token underneath Drocky? No. How can I see?
Don't know where your token is. Are you downstairs?
Shouldn't be. I came back up.
No,
I
it
won't
looks
go
like
to the
you're-
very end.
You're at the front of the ship.
I just put myself there. I won't go to the very edge, and I'll be hovering, probably 10 foot in the air, but I will. No, let's go even higher, 15, 20, trying to, without going past the ship, look into the ocean. Is
You
Sev
see the-
in the crow's nest?
Sev is in the crow's nest, yeah.
Always.
Good timing, Sev. You
Sev,
see.
did you see that?
Give me perception checks.
I can't get into Foundry, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'm watching on Twitch.
Fair enough. Guess you logged in weirdly. But
I think
you
I
can-
can roll for Sev.
Okay.
I can.
Okay. Tink and Sev, you both see this thing, and it seems to be, it's got claws and it's clinging to the front of the hull. In fact, as you hear it first, you hear the kind of these like claws dig into the wood, that sort of dull funk scratching noise. It's quite big, not huge, not, it's kind of like maybe a little bit smaller than Derendil. It is stocky and scaly and has these huge bulging eyes and this very wide mouth full of very, very sharp looking teeth. It's kind of frog-like, but it's got spiky barbs on its back. Got these weird four-fingered hands where the fingers are around the outside of the palm and there is no real idea where the hand ends. It's just fingers in a circle around this square palm. The eyes are slitted and black, and it's got clawed feet and this sort of bulbous belly. you just see the remains of a goblin foot in the mouth, and it kind of goes, oh, and you just see it disappear.
Matthew, why do you do this to us? Why do you take
Or-
the sweeteners and consume them?
hurt
Sorry,
you?
Will.I.Am. Well, that's a very long story that we don't have time.
I
Oh,
will shout. Yeah.
it doesn't seem to have noticed you. It is just clinging to the side of the boat at the moment.
Oh, I will shout to everyone. Enemy attached to the front of the ship! Big frog thing!
And then you will see it to the edge of the ship and peek over just to see who is on there. Surdy, you get a weird sensation, and it seems to see you, Tink, floating up above, staring at you. Big purple tongue like lick its lips. Get a smattering of blood. Let's go. And
Asleep.
Bastard.
That thing
Shit.
was weird.
you can give me a history check if you want. 30.
It's something I'd have advantage on.
Yes. You recognize it as a fiend straight away. These creatures are known to inhabit the river Styx, the levels of the abyss. They basically, although they do eat beings, they much rather your memories.
These things, there's fiends everywhere in this place. It's awash with them. That thing was. It feeds off your memories. That's all I know
Well, it's gone now.
for now. I would suggest people stay away from the edge of the ship if they can.
A better use of my alarm spell later might be to put something around the ship. Yeah, can we just pass the message along to everyone to not
Not
peer over
stand.
the edge? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, you see all the goblins step back from as they've no desire to meet that thing. Jockey's going to be like, okay, I think you've got this handled. I'm going below.
How do the goblins feel about their kin demising?
Weirdly, they don't seem to react. Well, not in a way that you notice. They almost seem to just resigned. It.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblins up here at the moment. Huh.
They may well be very, very sad, but it's hard to tell. They definitely have shuffled away from the edge and are looking quite scared.
It likes memories and it steals thoughts, so I don't know that necessarily it's going to kill you, but I don't know how it does it. Just
Zeph knows what to keep an eye out for. Try not to worry, just go about your business.
Hemeth, it might be best if you take this now and I'll stand guard.
Right, you are. You did a great job. Well done.
Thanks for teaching me.
I think that's what I've seen Tink doing. 'Cause you're so good at this.
From the other side of the ship.
The cheeks, Surdy's cheeks go slightly pale, a cast of deep black. As he blushes a little. Well, okay, thank you.
Oh, it really works. Good stuff right there. Learned this years ago. Lost 4 ships. Anyway, the ship making good time, but yeah, the goblins seem to be a little bit off their game now. They're whittled away from the edge of the ship. But they're not paying attention much to the bigging and stuff. They are definitely watching the sides. Not sure what to do.
Well, I'm trying to keep them on task because I've been buddying up with them, sort of asking Hemeth what we need to do, watching them doing it, or asking them to do it so I can see how to do it and then do it myself.
Yeah, they'll be like, we don't like this, miss. Don't like sailing. Very dangerous. We've lost Will and Bradley now. We go to land now. Get off.
We will be soon.
Then that's it. We just walk in then.
Well, you can stay aboard the ship. You can, I suppose, come with us. But where will you go? I mean, it's true, you're not tied to this employment. You can choose to resign. But we appreciate your efforts, and I know Malice was talking to all of you about if there were any specific skills you wanted to learn and how we could make life on the ship a bit more engaging for everybody.
Less dying. Yeah.
We'll take a moment at the shift crossover to just have a moment to think about Bradley and Will. I'm not sure what you do to honor your dead, if you do.
We do? Yeah. That Will was quite old. 9. Still. Not good.
No.
Don't
We
like it.
don't want to make light of it. It's dangerous everywhere out here, but we are doing our best to keep everyone safe.
I mean, you're not going to pay us when we're dead, are you? I mean, we all get Will's share.
It's something we can discuss. If we can't find somebody to replace him, then I suppose we'll have to
Divvy it up.
divvy it up between you and give you more.
Divvy it up.
You'll be taking on more work.
Oh. I was thinking it more of a bequeathment, like like if Will had a will, I'm sure he would bequeath said wages probably to me. Nodding confidently.
Again, Malice has a HR file on each member of this ship.
I know it's new to everybody here, but we are trying to run everything democratically and fairly. So we wouldn't want anyone to think we were favouring one person over the other. So it's unlikely it will all go to you, but it's something we can certainly discuss when we are remembering them later.
I mean, Will owed me 5 gold. Went out there.
Unfortunately, that is a personal dispute and not something that can be brought into your employment.
It needs to be bore in mind for the estate when it is divvied up.
What did
as
you do
you say,
before this and before you were a slave?
I was a lawyer.
Were you in law? Yeah, I thought
Goblin
so.
law.
Do you enjoy law?
Yeah.
He maybe can read.
Does that mean you can read?
Yeah.
Goblin or common or any other languages?
Quite a few words. I can read my name. I can read all of their names.
Do you know what might be a good role for you and would probably involve some sort of wage increase, but it's you're going to have to complete your training as a sailor first, of course, but we are looking to specialise everyone. Perhaps if you formed some sort of union, you could be a spokesperson, go between us and all of the crew, relate their needs, any challenges that you're facing, make sure that we've got a conversation, a dialogue going, and that you're happy. Or you could just go out on your own into the abyss and
Well, let's negotiate.
see what happens. Like I said, you're not tied into a fixed term contract.
I mean, goblins get the drumstick when you're having a meal. We're paid twice as much as everyone else. Would have a hat.
What kind of hat?
Just a better one than everyone else's. Show that I am the law speaker for the goblins.
Law speaker, that's a good word for it, yes. That's a nice title. Right, I'm going to talk to Malice about all of this. And we'll arrange a meeting. This is more than a chat later on, I think. We're going to have to draw up some terms and conditions.
Right, yeah.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Sorry.
Will.
Who? Didn't really know him.
How'd you tie this sort of knot?
Dunno.
Oh, so you're not fulfilling the terms of your current contract? Oh, okay. Well, when Hemif's free, we can both ask him to show us, can't we? And I will go.
Legal term.
I'm glad we have an understanding.
Right. He wanders off. Starts doing some work just to get away from you.
I don't remember what the purpose of that conversation was to begin with.
I don't know either. There's an artist one, there's a lawyer now. I don't know what's happening. Gonna have to remember all this.
Did you absolutely have to free all the goblins, even the lawyers?
You free the lawyers. I reckon one's gonna be a hairdresser.
I am keeping a list. If I should probably create a note in Foundry.
That one was John.
That one was John. Lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We can exclude all the lawful evil ones, which would include all the lawyers.
All the that just goes for lawyers, not just goblins.
Sorry to any lawyers. Sorry to any lawyers that watch it. Now we're going to find out Davey's a lawyer.
And that is lawful evil.
And he can't reply to us, and it's probably driving him nuts now. Sorry, Davey.
Can I just ask the artist? Which one was that?
Fergie.
Fergie, thank you.
It was Fergie. I was going to say Joe.
You called her Lisa, and then I wrote in the
Yeah.
chat, not Lisa.
No, there's no.
That's steps, mate.
That's a step. Yeah, I've got no idea. All cheesy.
I
pop
remember
bands,
my
bit
question.
Urge. Yes.
90s pop bands. How long have we been sailing?
Since the ice sheet, probably half a day.
It's been about 8 hours. Is
Yeah,
it bedtime for some of us? Is it shift crossover?
If you wish to do that, you may. Hemeth estimates you've probably got another 2 or 3 hours that you should be, he thinks, near to or in Neverlight Grove.
Have the others that are below deck had a long rest or a short rest?
Don't think they've been below long enough. A short rest,
Short
yes.
rest.
A long rest, I don't think.
How
Down there.
long would you say Drodyn has been down there, and then how long would you say I've been down there? So I went after Drodyn.
Probably like two or 3 hours by now.
Okay. Malice is going to stay down there until she's had her 4-hour trance.
I think at that point, Drodyn would probably kind of just go, oh, fuck it, I'll have another row. Procrastinate, be a little bit lazy, get that 4 hour, hit that 4 hour mark.
We should stay on deck, and between me and Ambrose, do like a shift pattern of resting and patrolling.
Sure. Give me perception checks. And anything else you want to do to increase your chances, let me know. I will tell you what to roll. Is there anything anyone wants to do?
Apparently not.
Can I go talk to Derendil?
Sure. He's down below.
Oh no, there's 2 of me now.
Get rid of one. You see him sort of lying on the bunk, but he isn't. He is. Sort of, his eyes are closed, but fidgeting a bit.
I would wait until this was like the 4-hour mark, and I know Drodyn and Malice are probably coming back because they've had 4 hours, and I know that's all they need. So that he's at least getting 4 hours too. Hey, buddy, I'm off for my rest now, but I just wanted to check in.
Check in? Why? What's up? Everything good? I am just struggle to sleep with the rocking, and
I guess it's something we'll get used to.
I hope we don't have to. I can get to the surface. I'm certain I can give you all sanctuary. My father would, mother as well, offer you all sanctuary. Elrind and Vane. They could help you. I'm sure my sister will turn me back. Sure, she could help you with your memory problems.
Why? What does your sister do?
Great mate.
Oh, what's her name?
See him look a little bit upset. Be forgetting things. Name. I know I knew it. Knew it in Gracklestug. I was thinking about her when we were children. Now I'm finding that all these things are just slowly slipping away, and I'm worried that I'm becoming this, losing who I am.
That explains it. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about what Drodyn said he heard you thinking. When we were checking, everyone was who they should be. You said you were trying pretty hard not to go full beast mode.
Have you heard that?
I know it's a bit invasive, but you said he could. You knew why we were doing it.
Hear that? Yes, it's been like that since the start. I don't think you appreciate how angry this beast is. It just wants to. Even you. But that's not me.
Ow.
And I don't want it to be me. I'm just going to focus on getting us to home, get to my house, and we'll all be
Parents-
safe, and you'll be well fed, you'll be looked after, you'll be rewarded, you'll be rich. Let's be honest. You'll all be rich. And I will remember my sister's name, and my father's name, and my mother's.
If it ever comes to you and you don't have any parchment to hand, just let me know and I'll remember for you, or I'll jot it down in my notebook. Do you have anything from home?
No way
wish
it is. I
could-
can remember the way. You're on the surface. Remember the way.
Tell me now, just in case you. Tell me now, and I'll get my notebook out.
You travel through the great forest about 2 or 3 days. Start at the town called. See him like furrowing his brow trying to remember. There's a town. I know there's a town on the outskirts of the high forest. The high forest, yes. And then sort of northeast for 3 days, and you will come to a lake. There is a ferry. Catch the ferry, you travel probably half a day, and you are in the kingdom. Wyrm air. Kingdom vein, it's beautiful. High elves. Many of us. Fair and peaceful place.
Do you remember how this happened to you?
I'll be honest, the first thing I remember was being in Velkenvelv. Shoved in. Cell where you all were. Well, you weren't there yet, but Drow, Zareth, and that orc, torpedo. Well, the only memory I have. For that, I was eating dinner, having dinner with family, and last I remember, big feast, had guests. It's all
How long ago was all this?
probably a few months before. How long has it been? 2 months?
Since Velkenvelv or since...
Since Velkenvelv, it's been 2 months, I think.
Okay.
I'm not forgetting. I would say a month before I found myself held by Drow. I don't understand how I came to be there. Really don't. Really don't.
Well, I can understand, if in reverse, what it feels to not be able to remember who you are. So, firstly, I'd like you to talk to Malice. Let her look you over. She might be able to have a better understanding of what you're going through in terms of the memory loss. But secondly, you have something I don't, and that is you still seem to know who you are. So, Derendil. 3 words. Who is Derendil? Derendil is...
Harry. I mean, I can't even grow a beard. Look at me.
Was
Literally,
no, not this Derendil. Who is Derendil the elf?
I was a fabulous archer.
Derendil is a fabulous archer. What else?
Play the lute.
Well,
I don't have one. Play the lute. And the tower that I resided in, oh, you'd love the view. See the lake and my forest stretching out completely to the horizon. It is our architecture is beautiful. It's if it grew from the earth, not like Gracklestug with their ugly, purposeful buildings. These are made to please the heart as much as provide cover and warmth. Good love it there. It is my heart. It pains me every moment I'm not there. But at least I'm with you all. Never thought I'd be friends with a drow and a fairy and a kobold and... well, 2 drow. I'm not sure Drodyn likes me, but Alice likes me. Likes anyone give much away.
neither of them are trying to kill you. I think that's what matters.
No, that's the biggest surprise. It has changed my view of drow elves. More like that. Want to live a life.
Do you remember any of the songs he used to play on the lute?
Cool.
Could you hum one for me?
Came to in this form, I sing a song. If the spirits, I'm afraid a Quaggoth's vocal cords rather butcher anything. Try and cross them, so
Any lyrics then? What I'm trying to do, Derendil, is, in case you forget, remember for you.
see.
Maybe it will help.
Try and write some down. Or I remember them if I give it a bit of time. Right now, hear the tune. I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm fine, really. Poor Drodyn's exaggerating. I'm fine. I'm just keen to get it.
Derendil?
I'm
going to look around, really obviously, and then lean in really close into his ear. Don't tell anyone else, because I'm the captain, and they all look to me, but I'm not fine. It's okay to not be fine.
Sorry, I was being selfish. I didn't ask how you were. Just seemed to take it in your stride.
We're all
Sorry.
surviving.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're not fine. If there's anything I can do. Not singing.
Just talk to me. Beasts don't talk.
No, but I'm afraid if I let go, if I do what this body really wants to do, I might not come back.
And we're not going to let you let go.
Good.
But you have to talk to us.
I will. I'll tell you if I have any problems, and I promise, I pledge to show you my home someday. Maybe my sister can help with memory problems, or when I'm an elf, it will all return quickly, swiftly. I hope yours do. For what it's worth, I don't know who you were, but I think who you are is quite good. What a good person.
Oh, definitely don't tell anyone else that.
A secret.
Your memories are precious. Share them with me when you have them. If I can't have my own, I'll take yours.
I might get some sleep now. That's okay.
So will
Unless
I.
Unless you need me.
Nope.
No. Okay. Those of you that have rested, you've met your requirement for a long rest. You may have it. Send yourself up top. Those on
I've got
deck.
business to deal with.
You've got what?
I've got
Biscuit.
business to deal with.
I thought you said biscuits.
Oh, biscuits.
Biscuits to
Biscuits is
deal
the
with?
more hazel thing.
Sorry, just as I'm swapping with Drodyn, can he cast alarm on?
Ah, yes. Let me make doubly sure I have it. I do.
Also, can I check that Drodyn is Drodyn?
How are you doing that?
Yes, how would you?
Can I go up and just flick him on the nose?
Sure.
Ow.
And then I'm just gonna look in his eyes. I'm gonna move his chin up and just kind of.
Yeah, give me an insight check if you want.
Would you? I. What are you doing?
Checking.
Or what?
Well, you've been alone by yourself for a number of hours.
And I was undisturbed the entire time, unfortunately.
It's good to know. But what if they were in there before the alarm was set?
That's a fair reasoning, I suppose. So are you concerned that I'm not who I appear to be?
Maybe, but you feel just as squishy.
If you would like
Still
something...
holding you by the face at this point.
I mean, he looks like Drodyn.
If you could release my face, first of all. Thank you. Also, if you want a more surefire way to identify me, I doubt the succubus is aware of my deformity, shall we say. So they would probably not replicate that injury were they to impersonate me.
Oh.
All I heard was arm, unfortunately.
I'm trying to remember what this injury is.
Yes, he has his left arm is very twisted and misshapen.
Sure. Right one. Okay. So with that, Malice will just kind of move her hair slightly, just enough to give him a glimpse of the new scar down the side of her face, so that they know that they are each other. And we deal with the doll now, once you've settled in the captain.
You don't have to make it sound like I'm tucking her into bed. How the hell are we going to deal with the doll?
Well, if you lift up the box, I'll deal with the rest of it.
You're asking someone with a bad arm to lift a box, but sure, I can manage.
Do you not have some way of moving a box without using your actual limbs? I fully thought you had mage hand.
I do have mage hand.
There we go.
Yes, if you could, I would prefer to not be stabbed for the third time by the doll.
Keep a distance, and we'll clear out the others. And I wonder if we could get maybe Sev and Surdy down here just to block each end of the boat in case it makes a run for it.
Well, I can block
Okay.
one end, potentially.
Yes, I don't want it to run at you, though. So I was thinking we could position you kind of out of the way. And I think it would be good for Surdy to witness the doll. He's heard quite a bit about it, and I think it's caused him some concern.
Perhaps you could use him as an assistant for dealing with the doll, just to give him first-hand experience.
Well, I'm hoping that no one but myself will have to touch it, but he could be useful as backup. I'll go get them. If you want to find a position, if you could clear the others out from here, get them to maybe find a hiding spot, and I'll go get Surdy and Sev.
Very well. And yeah, Drodyn will very awkwardly being like, me and myself and Malice are going to be dealing with quite a turbulent issue with the violent doll. So if you could clear the deck for a brief moment, and you can come back and resume your naps shortly.
They'll hurry out. No hesitation.
As they're hurrying out, you'll go, thank you, very, very kind. Thank you kindly.
As they go, I'm guessing that as Malice is like going up the ladder, they actually run past her. Please stay away from the edges. Sev, Surdy, could I have
With
your
edges.
of the ship?
Why?
Oh,
There was a big frog!
yes. There seems to be some interesting creatures and dead fish, and generally poisonous viscera within the water. So we should probably stay away from it. And unfortunately, Will.I.Am, I believe, was consumed.
Oh yes, Will.I.Am, lovely goblin.
Oh, that's how you pronounce it. Okay.
I lent him one of my books.
Oh well, I don't think you're going to get that back.
Why?
Also, I don't think he could read it, so I'm not quite sure where you lent it to him. Because he was eaten by a frog.
Oh,
Anyway, Sev, Surdy, please.
Hello? Yes?
The doll that we've had this issue with, I was hoping that you could both, one at each end, take position and be prepared to capture and or kill, or more likely maim it whilst I attempt to catch it and dispose of it.
Oh,
So
okay.
you want us to maim a doll?
Yes, and you will also want me to maim the doll once you meet it.
Okay. Take out the shield, take out the spear.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you want me?
So what I'm thinking is, so we have like the center kind of galley. The doll is underneath all of these boxes, isn't it? It's like in a box at the bottom of the pile with all the heavy stuff. So we're going to take the boxes off. Then Drodyn, who is going to be situated behind something hiding in the corner, is going to use Mage Hand to lift that box releasing the doll, in which case then I am going to grab it, snap its neck in a manner with which it will not be able to return. However, if it is to kill me in the process, which is not something I would normally be fearful of, but with this particular doll, I do think it would be capable, then it will need to be caught and put back in the box. So it would be down to you two, and with the support of Drodyn, to return it to its current imprisonment. Okay?
If it kills you.
Oh, or just maims me to the point where I can no longer deal with it today.
I sleep.
That's clear to me.
Thank you, Savitar. Surdy, are you unsure?
I'm awake. I'm awake.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Yes.
Okay. Positions, everyone.
Take up your positions. As you begin heading towards the stack of boxes at the back of the ship, under which you know one of them contains this doll, which you have destroyed several times, but it always seems to just appear again. No matter whether you throw the pieces away, it is back. You just hear this little voice from inside the box. I'm really sorry, Mummy. Let me out. I'll be good.
Oh, that's just made it so much worse.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so it's these boxes at the back here that both myself and Surdy have surrounded. Okay. Stool is on a bunk, like on some pillows, out of reach.
Me and Ambrose have blocked the doorway so it can't go out where the rest of the crew are here. In the meantime.
Okay.
I've got my armor on, but I've taken the jacket off.
Okay. Good luck sleeping through this, Tink.
Oh no, I'm getting really excited for the nap strop I'm about to have.
Pull my sleeves up. Okay. Everyone ready?
Yes, I think.
Ready.
Roll me initiative
Yeah,
in
bloody
advance,
hell.
please.
We get a surprise round?
See?
Okay. No, we need Drodyn to go first.
Well, we will, because we're holding an action, I guess,
yeah.
aren't we? So
Okay, we'll hold action.
if DM agrees.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. It's not
Okay.
going to do anything until you open the box.
I've never been so stressed by a D&D game.
Are we playing hide and seek?
Hattie, can you please stop it?
Did you find me? I'm in here.
Be in there.
Right, well,
Let me out. Let me
Hey.
out.
I'm going to mage hand the.
face off.
Well, I'm less inclined to remove the box right now. But
Poor old Tom.
I will mage hand it.
Patron saint Danny DeVito.
Oh. Okay, sorry. Jody, what were you doing?
I'm mage handing the box away from the doll, releasing it into the cargo hold.
As
Okay,
soon as soon as that happens, I want to lunge for it, and I know this is going to need a roll, and grab it.
Okay. You lift the box and you see this weird stained doll with like one eye missing and the other one's like kind of like, you know, like doll's eyes that open when you tilt the head and open and close. They're kind of creepy. It's just kind of like flicking around this weird way. One of them's just an empty socket and you see it just turns up and looks at Drodyn as he lifts it and gives him a big grin. The sort of porcelain of the face cracks and the mouth opens wide, and it just holds up a big carving knife. You found me!
Oh, for fuck's sake. No, I didn't even pick you up. Why are you hunting me so much?
There's reasons. Is that all you do, Drodyn? You're just lifting the box up?
Well, yeah. It's using Mage Hand to interact with something is an action, I think.
Okay, Sevatar.
That's on it.
Yeah, Sev, you're up.
For an attack.
Yeah, I forgot you can't control yourself, can you?
Well, I might be able to. Let's give it a try.
Okay.
Oh, it's slow. Hey!
Hey. Get a crit on your first roll.
Yeah.
Nice. 28 to hit is indeed a hit. You can
That's
have
my
a
normal
sneak.
short sword damage. Hang on a sec.
Sneak attack.
Have some of that.
Wow, you literally stick your sword straight through the torso, and you see bits of porcelain drop off, and you also see stuffing sort of burst out of the back of this thing, and it just, again, the head spins 180 degrees. It's kind of looking at Drodyn, and then it just spins unnaturally, goes past the point it should be able to, and just says, "That's not fair. You cheated." But it's still not its go. Anything else?
I'll try and go to my happy place.
Okay. 30.
I'm gonna run away.
Run away?
I'll step forward and try and pin it to the deck with my spear as well, like
Okay.
Seb has.
Yes. You take one of the arms off.
I'll stab at the other one.
Yeah, the one with the knife though is still held up, and you can see it's making ready to.
I shall stab down again with the spear.
The miss, unfortunately.
No, I'm trembling too much.
Yeah, you take one of the arms off, and then the other one, and it just seems to like bend back, and naturally it just sort of folds over on itself, and then stands back up without pushing itself back up.
That's me, but I'll get Ambrose to jump forward and try and grab the severed arm and shake it. Like,
okay, yeah. Is a dog. Okay. It is the haunted doll's turn. Fortunately, misses. Ambrose jumps in. It just again, it sort of like seems to just go and just flops unnaturally in a way that it shouldn't be able to move. And can you give me, as you take its arm off, Surdy, you see this weird black inkiness sort of pour out of the wound. It seems to spurt with blood for a second. No one else can see this. You just see this inky blackness turn into this massive demonic face, which the mouth opens. You just see insects and all sorts of horrendous things pour out of it. Can you give me a wisdom saving throw, please? Hold your nerve. It is disturbing. It is wrong, but you hold your nerve.
What is this thing?
And it is gonna stab. Drodyn, sorry. 19.
Yeah, that's definitely gonna fucking hit, isn't it?
It just sort of leaps in the air with the knife and just goes straight for your heart.
Oh shit.
Seven slashing as it literally sticks the knife in and then drops back to the floor. His malices go.
So what I want to do is I want to reach out for it. I want to grab it by the upper body and the head, and I want to snap its neck as I cast. Really hoping this works as I cast Remove Curse.
Okay. You probably need to attack or cast Remove Curse.
Well, I'm grabbing it to.
You're grabbing it to cast a spell. It is a touch spell, yeah. So make the, yeah.
So what do you want me to roll?
I think you just need to make a normal spell attack roll.
Spellcasting is Wisdom? Yes.
Yeah, I think.
I'll just roll a d20 and then we'll add my Wisdom.
And you.
Yes.
Yes, you.
It's roll the stool, but yeah.
You reach out, you grab it, and you literally hold it by the throat as it's dropping off Drodyn. It's just stabbed him. You grab it tight, and you let the magics pour into it. You see the head spin 180 degrees, facing backwards, and looks at you. Oh, you bitch! And it is still moving, but do you want to do anything else? Sorry?
The bonus actions. So that was a spell action.
Sorry, Tom, is this too much? I forgot you all hate dolls. Hello to those in chat. Yes.
No, you
Yes,
didn't.
It is D&D, but it may feel a bit too much like Vampire right now. I don't know what's going on.
I'm just holding a weird, creepy doll.
With its head on backwards, one arm with a massive carving knife in it. Yeah, you're just holding it off the ground. Hey, Drodyn.
Do I destroy it?
Please?
Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to cast a second level magic missile at it.
Okay. Just not taking any chances. Just going to have something that will hit.
Definitely not. So,
and as you say that, you hear the doll say, "Could I finish it?" in an almost exact replica of Drodyn's voice.
Not how I sound, is it?
A little bit, yes.
Incredibly rude.
Okay, roll damage.
I did. It's 15.
15. Okay. How do you want to do this?
I'm just going to grab it by the torso and point blank just pump the magic missile straight into it. And it's kind of going to look like it's just got a load of squibs hidden in on its person somewhere, and it's just going to have it's just going.
You see it just disintegrate into pieces. Then you see this weird black oozing slime like drop out of it and splat all over the floor.
Surdy vomits.
You will hear the door behind you slam open, and Tink, with like probably her hair on one side just sticking up. I'm trying to sleep.
She's got like half of a doll skull in her head. In her head, in her hand. Words.
Words are hard.
Surdy's on all fours, vomiting on the floor. Ambrose is licking up the vomit.
It's that scene from Community where he opens the door and everything's on fire. Well done.
Seems not moving.
Why did we take it out of the box?
We had to deal with it sooner or later.
This was our best chance. We couldn't risk it getting off the ship and into a community.
Hey!
Can I just the ooze
Hold
any
on.
kind of remnants? Can I just say? I don't know if the stream would have heard that, but we just got a
They did.
Oh, damn it. You've given him too much power.
To be fair, I didn't give it to him. He just
I found it.
created it. Yeah.
Can I cast Sacred Flame on stuff? Just for my own reassurance.
You hit the stuffing and the remainder of the fabric catches fire and disintegrates. You just get little bits of dust and ash flying around. The black ooze seems to be evaporating almost, just disappearing before your eyes. Just hear a little voice say, "I'm going to crawl out of the abyss and kill you all over again."
We never died in the first place.
No response.
So just bring us back and do it again.
Put its remains back in the box.
I think I might create a little burial ceremony to maybe lock it in.
Is it not just
work on
burned?
Burn it or bury it. We'll don't know. We'll figure something out. I don't want to have to deal with it again.
Nothing is happening. It is just remnants of a very old doll. Black slime is gone. It is evaporated. You're just left with bits of fluff and stuffing and mashed pieces of porcelain.
Trust it. I don't like it. Even if I think it's dead, I would still rather put something in place to confirm it. We should try and find some sacred ground.
Down here.
Oh, a few of you have got gods that you pray to. There's got to be some kind of burial site, is there not? somewhere.
I suppose so. You just put it back in that box in the meantime.
It said it was going to crawl back out of the abyss. I'm not sure it belongs to any of the gods that we would worship.
Yes,
Not sure they would take ownership of it, take care of it. Something entirely other.
I'm thinking maybe they might be able to bar it from re-entering the doll. We've destroyed the doll before and the doll has returned. At least we can remove its vessel. And
Yeah,
then
good
it
point.
might find something else. I don't know whether it has candidates lined up, but maybe we can buy some time.
Definitely a possession. Where did you find that thing?
On a shipwreck.
Do you know why the ship was wrecked?
We believe after, was it a diary we read or something? We believe that it was caused by the doll.
And you brought the doll on this ship?
We didn't bring it. It came. It followed. It stalked and hunted, and I believe we threw it overboard, and it just appeared back on the ship. I'll find out the diary entry and I'll show it to Surdy, to give him a bit more of an idea of what we were dealing with.
Yeah, you hands you quite a big ship's log and stored away, a manifest book from the Grey Ghost, and most of this book is just full of cargo entries and dates, locations, Stone, Gracklestug, Blue entry, a couple of others of like smaller outposts, but near the back someone seems to have like added some handwritten notes, which seem to be dated 1489, a few months previous, and detail someone lamenting that they shouldn't have brought their daughter with them, why they thought they would be safe in the dark. Describes ship sailing towards Gracklestug, full of spices and goods from the surface, silk, dyes, foodstuffs, and a beautiful time sailing across the dark lake. Magical lights flickering, the luminescent manta ray, and the sea. Sounds like a beautiful start to the journey. And then they describe something under the water bigger even than the ship itself. Big ship. Tentacles, and then something just coming up out of the water and literally taking the end of the ship off the bite. The diary ends with a statement said, including her friends and her daughter, to join them with their ancestors. Last end.
A dreadful tale.
It was a fate that couldn't be escaped, and we didn't want it to become our fate as well.
I understand why we've tried to kill this thing, but it's clearly not going to work. To banish the thing possessing it somehow.
Hopefully this has brought us just a little bit of time and safety.
If any of us can get any sleep, probably should get it now.
We don't have time for a long rest before we make land? You said 2 or 3 hours?
Probably less than 2 now.
If you need a short rest, someone come wake me in an hour.
Come.
You hear a shout from above.
Oh no.
Run upstairs.
Land!
Sir!
There is land. We see land. We are exiting the tunnel. If you finished your party, we could do with your help up here.
I'll head upstairs to help.
Otherwise.
Okay. And indeed, as you step out on deck, you can see again there is this dull luminescent glow of the cavern ceiling above, and actually as you look in the water it is crystal clear and you can see strange lights dancing and swimming gracefully underneath the surface, some quite deep down, some huge, tiny, small, and ahead of you you see the edge of the dark lake, large tributary, a river feeding inland. I think that's it. Emmeth will shout from the back. I think that is tributary. I think that goes to the grove. But the choice is yours. Do we go inland or do we sit near the shore and walk in?
Where's Stool?
But he was down there with you, sleeping.
I'm just going to shout for him.
I'll go grab him off the tower of pillows I built for him to keep him out of reach of the doll.
Tower of pillows. I mean, tower of pillows is very good defense against the kitchen knife.
Hmm.
So it worked. He's survived unscathed. Still will kind of, he still struggles a little bit with the ladder, but you help him up, waddles out onto the deck.
Stool, can we sail through Neverlight and come out another side, or are we just going to have to come back out this way?
Sort of go, see these puff of spores just fill the air, tickle the back of your throat and your noses as you involuntarily almost breathe them in. Sort of look, move to the edge of the ship, stand up, like kind of try and stand on tiptoes. He doesn't really have toes, but tries to extend himself a little bit so he can see. And he points, and then you hear in your head all at the same time this sort of connectedness. That's where Stool came out. I'm nearly home. You got me home. And he starts like sort of waddling around and running around the deck of the ship, looking quite happy.
It wasn't really an answer, Stool. But I assume that means this is the only way in and out by water.
Stool doesn't know.
Hermith, how difficult is it to sail up this?
It's
be
quite
better for
wide,
us?
Captain. For a time, I don't know how long it stays this wide, but we've done it before. We can try. Maybe we won't get all the way, but we should get very close. The grove is the source of many water.
Yeah,
Springs, rivers.
Captain, if you're interested in our opinion, I think it would be best to keep the boat as close to us as we can. So
Yeah. So
take it up the
do I.
river as far as we can.
Yeah. Let's keep going then.
Very well, Captain. We shall keep going. It's exciting times. I have never seen the Grove. Very few have. We are. If we live, we will be honored to see the Grove. We continue to sail. The rest of the journey is uneventful. Things are peaceful. The glowing in the water dies down, and as you sail along this river, the rocky sides start to become more colourful, brighter, covered in different growths of mushrooms and fungus and lichens on the sides of the rocks. They have bright colours, purples, blues, greens, yellows, oranges. Some of them look like flickering torches. Some of them pulse and have these strange patterns that change and flicker across them. It's quite beautiful. And after a time, the river does indeed become shallow. Eventually, the ship can't sail anymore. And you see a rocky, gravelly path with relatively fast-moving water, but shallow, leading off into a tunnel. I think this is where we walk from, Captain.
Stool, how far is it?
Stool literally starts trying to climb on the edge of the ship. You just see him Tita look down. It's probably double his height, and you just see him go boing off the side, the little splash of water, and you just see him running off into this tunnel. Was that you, Jim?
No, that wasn't me. I don't know what that was.
It was like a water flop sound.
It was me.
He is quite small. I don't know if he's that small. But he is now.
It's canon.
You see him disappear.
Alice, go get your mushroom.
Malice is already vaulting the side, chasing after him. Still, please be careful. I know it's exciting, but don't run off ahead. We don't know what might be between here and there. Wait up a moment. We're nearly there.
He's just gone.
I have longer legs, so I'm going to catch up with him and I'm going to scoop him up.
Okay. I mean, he's dashing, but yeah, you catch him up. Davy's not a lawyer. He's just confirmed. You've held on to that. You've held on to that answer for a long time.
You've been stupid on that for the last hour.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, you stop him, and you still got the connection in your mind. Let's go. Let's go.
Others.
Your mind voice isn't working.
We just need to wait for all of the others.
Oh,
I know. It's very exciting. We'll be there soon.
they're so slow.
I know.
They're so slow.
But you've waited so long and we're nearly there, so we just need a little bit more patience, don't we?
No.
Do you know what you're going to do when you get there? What's the first thing you want to do?
I'm going to commune, and I'm going to share all of the things that I've learned about stabbing and cooking and dolls and pedo and all of the things and the big laughing dog things and that huge thing that smashed everything. All of the things.
Well, why don't you explain to me exactly how communing works in great detail? And I'll try and use like toddler questions to hold him up while everyone else catches up.
You're already doing it, silly.
Well, just because I'm doing it doesn't mean I understand it. So could you please explain it to me?
Softers don't understand.
I
Come on,
know
let's
you
go.
don't.
They'll show you.
Well, I thought you could show me.
I've already showing you and you don't get it.
So could you explain it then?
Everyone gets... They go... And then they all connect. Then they all share.
I'm not good with kids. I don't know how to keep this conversation going.
Meanwhile, on the boat,
Thank you.
Hemeth, can we be seen from where we sailed if we're being pursued in any way? Do you think they can see us up this tributary, or have we got far enough away?
I mean, it is quite well lit, Captain. These mushrooms and funguses are very colourful and very bright.
Oh, good. We're going to lead a load of drow to massacre some mushrooms. Don't tell to Saul I said that.
We could set about chopping them down, clearing a path. I mean,
I don't know that the Myconids will take kindly to that. Maybe if we just go dark. I know the goblins don't want to... I don't know if we should take them with us, but I know they don't want to stay on the boat, so if we make camp on land here, and we'll be back in the evening, Derendil can stay with you.
I would say if you're are you just going to drop off the mushroom and then we're going?
I assume there'll be more to it, but
we were going to see if there was a way that they could revive elders without turning them into a horrible animated mutant of, I don't know, mushrooms and mold. And
and that not being the case, we need to, in all haste, return to Quaggoth's do, don't we? So we can't linger too long.
Okay, very good. If there's any kind of diplomacy going on, I wouldn't recommend taking the goblins.
That's what I thought.
Unless you want to take the lawyer one, but to be honest, I think that one was bullshitting you.
Really?
Yeah, I think if anyone should be turned into some hulking mutant zombie mushroom, it should be the lawyer one.
Hemeth, do you want to come with us, or are you happy to stay with the ship? And
I can stay with the ship, Captain. I mean, I'd very much like to see the place. Incredible, but maybe you go first.
And then we'll come back and...
Yeah, I don't want to be turned into a hideous mushroom zombie. I've heard about them. If it's safe.
Take the time to rest. They can bury Bradley or however they dispose of their dead. There's a cask of ale. Derendil knows where it is if they want to drink to their fallen comrade. I don't know. Just...
I'll deal with it, Captain. You don't need to worry about all of this. It's just the mundane, everyday runnings. I'll deal with it. Please.
I just don't want to come back and find 3 of them decided to leave.
All right, I'll lock them in the hold.
No. Let them...
You want them to leave or not?
I don't want them... If they choose to leave, fine. I'd prefer it if they didn't. And the only way I know how to do that is to let them have time off.
Right. I'll get them pissed, Captain. That's what you're saying. Get them so drunk their legs don't work, they can't leave.
You know what? Yeah, fine. As long as there's one person keeping an eye out. That can be
What?
Derendil, I suppose.
I'll tell
What?
Derendil you told him to do that, yes.
What if we have to set sail in a hurry? Will they be fine
Well,
manning
we'll
the
be
ship?
there.
I
They,
suppose.
they can't be any worse than they are sober.
Yeah.
Ah,
Sounded like a noise of, yes, they can. Let's find out. Very good. All right, I'll deal with it. Don't
Okay.
die.
Love you, bye.
He looks very baffled by that.
don't mind her.
Did she mean to say that? Maybe it's a Fae thing. I don't know. Have a good time, Drodyn. Don't die.
I'll try not to.
Good.
I will make it my number one priority.
Yeah, it's definitely mine. Are you heading in? You can see Malice has picked Stool up to stop him running off into this tunnel. Well, they're just kind of silently, she's just kind of silently looking at him, but you expect there's probably some conversation going on. Catch her up and begin to move in. And the first thing that strikes you is it's not huge. It's not like a city. Probably not even like a town in size. It's more like a village. And it is, see these spores, some of them are luminescent, some of them are not, just drifting gently through the air in every direction. And it's like a huge bowl in the cavern as you walk through this tunnel. Terraced sides dropping down, and on them you can see lots of fungus that are grown in, some of them are grown in like perfect lines, perfect patterns. Some of them flicker with light, which sort of travels along huge like levels of singular crops, and then the next level down will be a different one. It is beautiful and ordered, but kind of weird and strange as well. And as you step through and out of the tunnel, you look up and see these huge mushrooms, which are probably, some of them are 50, 60, 70, even bigger. These mushrooms, huge purple caps, give off this gentle light from underneath them. And as you take a step out, Stool is wiggling to get out of your grasp. He is absolutely desperate to run off. You hear these big mushrooms creak and bend, and it's almost like they're observing you, but they don't seem to do anything else.
Captain, is it okay if and I'll kind of gesture with Stool as in like put him down. Stool, would you be able to maybe run ahead and let people
Yes.
know we're coming, but we're friends?
I'm going to go and commune now, if it's time.
Let them know that we're friends, please.
Okay, bye.
Oh God.
And he goes, just like, you just see him, there's mushrooms and fungus everywhere, and you just see him sort of dip into some that are taller than him. You see it wiggle, and you see them wiggling off into the distance. Then you just lose sight of him.
Oh,
We could just turn around.
there's so much opportunity for scientific endeavour here. And
Don't worry, we're going.
Maybe we need to ask about Heldeth.
It smells rich. The soil is rich. There is the smell of fungus. But there's just this strong sense of fertility, lights, and you see these weird, gangly, fungal people with mushroom caps for heads. Their faces are vaguely humanoid, but a little bit disturbing, not going to lie. And they just seem to be slowly wafting around, just gently walking. They don't seem to pay you much attention. They're just going about their business. You can see, actually, as you watch, that they are farming, they are tending to these terraced mushroom fields. And it is incredibly quiet. there is just not a sound other than your own footsteps, your own breathing, and your own words. Is completely peaceful.
A cluster of them that we could head towards, or are they just dotted all over the place without any real structure that we
They are,
can interpret?
yeah, they're definitely dotted all over. Again, they are just silently. Some of them do stop and observe you for a second and seem to turn and carry on. They just not seem to be any concern about your presence. You see off in the distance, again, this place is not massive. It's probably a village size. Just looking around you, you estimate there's probably 100, maybe a little over 100 of these creatures working and living in here. You see a mound in the center, again, decorated, well, not decorated, but naturally covered in these luminescent mushrooms. See two these creatures that are much, much bigger. The others huge, tall, probably 12 foot tall. One has a huge purple cap, long spindly arms with like overly long fingers, maybe a little bit creepy, and the other has kind of almost got like a head that looks like a fan extending out, almost like a collar behind it. Again, with these weird faces that don't have mouths, they just kind of have holes and undulating things. They are stood on this mound, discussing something, you assume, but again, there's no sound.
Captain, do we approach?
It seems we're, I wouldn't say welcome, but not unwelcome. Can we see Stool?
I've lost sight of him.
Stool? Oh wait, they think that. Should we think Stool?
Nothing.
just-
You try that, there's nothing.
No. I think he's redirected his energies somewhat. He's
Just-
very excited.
Ask one of them if they've seen a small one running around, passing by.
Well, hopefully he will inform them about us, in which case then we might also be approached. But if we head up to them over there, then maybe we can make introductions. I'm sure they have a similar ability, this ability to commune that Stool has.
But yes, I suppose they look the largest, and we ought to announce ourselves.
It's a big assumption to assume that because they're larger, they're in charge.
Well, it's true. That's true. But I don't know how else to distinguish them.
I do think that when Stool has talked about the sovereigns, he has implied that they are larger in size because of the way in which they grow over time.
Fine. And if not, they can direct us in the right direction.
Of course, the most important Myconid here is a very small one.
Don't know. The most important to you, perhaps, but
He has saved our life. He's part of our crew.
yes. I apologize. He is valued.
A bit terrifying.
That is why he is valued.
And that's
As
not
you are-
his fault. That was ours.
As you are having this discussion, you're stood by this patch of quite huge mushrooms, bigger than all of you. And then you realize that one of them, this kind of pale cream and beige one, has arms and legs and a vaguely face-like thing, and it is just observing you. Quietly.
To him a little bit. I realised that he might not understand that, and very weirdly put my hand back in my pocket.
You see it raise this weird mushroom stalk-like hand with 3 big fingers, 2 at the top and 1 at the bottom. Raises, then puts it as if it's putting it in a pocket, but it doesn't have a pocket. Not wearing clothes.
Hello?
See a puff spores. Feel the connection like stools in your mind, but this isn't filled with language. It's images and feelings. I can't hear you, Hazel.
That can I search for stool? Can I see whether I can feel stool within that connection?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you can't. He's gone beyond 30 feet.
Okay. So can I then project my understanding of stool into that image cloud?
Yeah, you focus on the mental image of stool. And it's hard when you think of stool not to think about the hook horror lair, about Papido finding stool, but then helping him and healing him, and all of the dangers. It just naturally your mind just flicks through them and feel a sense of recognition from this creature, and then this overwhelming sense of gratitude and warmth. Then it gestures to everything. You just almost in high speed, it's like you witness a day in this place. And you see them waking, working for a third of the day. They all move out around Neverlight Grove and they tend the food, the mushrooms, fungus, tend it with real care. And then they return to the center where they all sit in a huge circle and connect with each other. Their whole minds connected as one for another third of the day. And they all sleep the last third of the day. And you see day after day after day, and then week after week and year after year, all of them peaceful and quiet, without war, without fighting, without noise. Then you get a mental image, stool growing, or get strong. Creature raises a hand again and holds it and then puts it in an imaginary pocket.
Do the same. Back in the pocket.
Then it gestures. Starts walking slowly towards the center, this mound with these huge Myconids.
I think we're supposed to follow.
I think so.
So we do.
So you see them, and as you approach, you see this pale beige mushroom sort of release the spores, and they drift ahead on a gentle breeze, and then you see 4 of these Myconids, 2 small and 2 huge. They also release the spores. You can only assume that they have all connected in their minds And even though they don't see you approaching, they seem to turn to you. Feel these connections in your mind, and these minds are larger, they are stronger, and they understand language.
Welcome, Sostas, to Neverlight Grove. Tell me, what is it you seek? See, you have rescued ours.
Malice, I do believe this is your wheelhouse.
All the captains.
Well, yeah, we wanted to see Storm returned home. We wanted to see their home. We would perhaps benefit from some respite after our travels, and we do have some questions for. We've recently lost one of our own and seek wisdom as to whether you can help us return them to life.
I also had a separate question. The kobold on our ship talked about a click-clack that was apparently brought here.
I sense you have many, many questions. I see you have travelled great distance across the. You're welcome. You may rest. May eat. We may talk. First, you may eat.
We'll leave it there. What?
Got to Neverlight
Reach.
Grove.
Got to Neverlight Grove.
Finally, we got our boy home.
Got your boy home. Yeah. Did well
Yeah.
because he's got 7 hit points.
Make a quick save now. We're in a new area.
Quick save.
Make a quick save and then I'll fireball and see what happens.
I will kill you is what will happen.
You go. Oh, you dealt with the dollar. I'm surprised. You caught me off guard there. Nicely done. Nicely
Why
done.
is it
I
always
liked it.
dolls? Why is it? It's always dolls and puppets and dolls and puppets all the time.
They've had that doll for a very long time.
Yeah.
We were waiting until you joined.
Yes.
It was the
we
Tom
keep-
special.
We
Tom
keep
loves
these
them, we
roads
know.
terrified, Tom. I just needed to remove curse. I was just waiting to get to the level where I had remove curse.
Okay,
And then I just
cool.
hadn't had a day with a spare spell slot for it.
It was a good call. Liked it. Okay. Well, we'll leave it there then, if that's okay. Is there any questions or anything before we wrap up?
Was I remembering it correctly that Crud, Big Bren, was saying that the click-clack he caught got taken to Neverlight Grove?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or near to, yeah. But yes, you were correct. We will answer all of your questions next week. It was good timing because I must admit some of them I couldn't remember. I need to look at my notes. It was very good of you to arrive right at the end with just 10 minutes left. So yeah, you're in the grove. with
We
the
made it.
mushroom people, which is not a drug-induced dream, or it might be. You're going to wake
Who
up and
knows?
you're really students in college.
Yeah, we wake up.
Drank the punch. Shouldn't have.
How long have we been in Strixhaven?
Yeah, yeah.
If it makes you feel any better, Tom, Jim and I are now in our hell.
I also
Fair
hate
enough.
mushrooms, so this is a
Night,
really
Davey.
strange
Yeah,
situation.
Sorry. Well, yeah, okay, that's fair enough then.
Me and V are a little on the tryptophobic side. So like the clusters of like all the little gross holes on all the myconids is a bit rough.
Yeah, sorry. They are kind of weird looking. But they are mushrooms.
Yeah.
Fair. Not
Why
their
would you
fault.
message me and say, can you tell me when the screen is okay to look at? Can someone else do that for both of us, please?
Is it you can see like the gill that it's the pores and the gills that it's a problem? Okay, we'll come up with the system.
With me, it's simple. It's just when the dolls talk and their heads turn around and they stab people.
Well, I've been stabbed 3 times now by that fucking doll.
to be fair, Tom, that's true of anything, not just dolls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
I
don't
think
When
like
their heads turn around
owls.
360 and they stab you.
to be
Owls are
fair,
terrifying.
I feel the dolls are going to do that even when they don't. So
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not intentionally trying to figure anyone's fears or dislikes. So please, yeah, have a chat with me offline if anything's gonna be too much, you know.
It's manageable. It's just.
It's manageable. It's just fucking gross.
On that note, we'll end the
Live.
stream. Stream in the Weird Mushroom Village. Bye.
Woo!
bye.